Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be taking a look at a CCI strategy. But before we do, if you have not watched the first video on the channel and all the videos after that, you need to go do that now. Here at the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below in the description, and you should also see it pop up in the top corner right now. There is also a link down below to sign up for TradingView. You can save a little bit of money if you use the link below to sign up for your account. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform where we are having great discussions about all things to do with trading. Lastly, if you would like a list of all the indicators we have tested along with their win rates, but you aren't interested in watching all the videos on the channel, you can sign up for our $9 Patreon, and you will receive the complete list of indicators. We also would like to introduce our Patreon exclusive Discord channel. As a $9 Patreon, you will be invited to join an exclusive Discord channel where we will give you a list of winning indicators and links for the MT platform, give you winning strategies, post trade ideas, give advanced advice, and much more. So click the link below to join our Patreon. Alright, as I said, today we will be taking a look at a CCI strategy. Before we do though, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 295 indicators, and out of those 295 indicators, 115 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you could take any one of those 115 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So we'll go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. Alright, so as I said, today we will be taking a look at a CCI strategy. So typically, those of you who are regular viewers know that we are usually testing indicators. But once a week, we do test a particular strategy that has been said to be profitable. Typically, we find these YouTube videos, and it's the video claims that this particular strategy is profitable, and so we test that particular strategy and we see what we can get out of it and see if the YouTube video holds any truth behind its claim. So today we have this particular strategy here, which involves the CCI, so that is the commodity channel index, and then we have the EMA, so exponential moving averages. We have one EMA that is set to a 10 period, and then we have the other EMA which is set to a 30 period. And so you can see those on screen here. The blue one is the 10, the orange one is the 30 period. Then we have the CCI here on the bottom of the screen, and we've changed the input, the length of that to 7 to make it a little bit quicker. So what are we looking for here? Well, first and foremost, we're looking for the moving averages to cross. So right here in this area, you can see that we get a cross of the moving averages, and we get a cross to the upside. That means that we are going to be looking for long signals. And so the next thing that we are looking for in this particular case is we are looking for the CCI to pull back below the negative 100 line. And so if we were on the lower side, so we'll look at this as a prime example right here. Excuse me. So we have the cross right here, the moving averages. And you can see that the cross takes place right about in that general area right there. And then we wait for price action to pull back into the moving averages, and we look for the CCI. In this case, since we are looking for shorts, we look for the CCI to pull up above the positive 100 line. And so you can see that right here, it does pull up above that line. Let me move it to the side there. You can see right there, it spikes up just a little bit over that 100, that positive 100 line. And then we are looking for a continuation back to the downside. And so this is confirmed by when the CCI crosses back down below that 100, that positive 100 mark, and comes back down into the kind of middle zone, if you will. Sometimes it can go lower than that, but basically we're looking for that cross back down. And you can see that it actually does that right here on this candle there. Now, the rules for stop and take profit. So what we are going to do is we are going to measure out, and we are looking to set our stop right above the last pivot point or the last swing. So in this particular case, it was right here. That is about, let's see, 35 pips is where we would set it. And so we're going to go for a 1-to-1 risk reward. And if you wanted to, you could take half the trade off the table and let the rest of the trade run. We'll discuss that a little bit later. But basically right now, I tested it as a 1-to-1 risk reward. And so we'd be looking for 35 pips to the downside. And you can see that we get that, let's see, right about here on these candles, right in this area, we would have gotten to take profit. That would have been a profitable trade, and we would continue to look for the same signals. And so we pick up a signal over here, right about here. So shortly after this one, we would have picked up another signal right there. This one, that candle right there would have been the confirmation candle, the entry candle, I guess. And we would have been looking at about 10 pips. So I would take it to 15 just so that way it's a decent little trade there. And you can see that rather quickly we get to take profit right here on that candle there. So another decent winning trade. So let's go ahead and play this one out here, see if we can catch one in real time. So right here we got the dip below right there, this candle as it came back in down here at the bottom. So we get the dip below the negative 100, comes back up into the center zone, crossing back up above that negative 100 area there. And that would have been our entry area right here on the small little red candle there. And the stop would have been super tight on this one. So we would have probably went for at least a 15 pip when it's super, super tight like that. It's good to go for at least 10 to 15 pips. So that way, you know, you can make a little bit off of it. And then again, you could take half off the table and let the rest run. This particular case, that would have been a losing trade right there. So that is unfortunate, and then looks like we would have picked up another losing trade pretty quick right there in that area as the CCI comes back down below the negative 100, makes its way back into the positive territory, or I guess the middle zone here. Might not have been positive. And then rather quickly, it drops out. Price action drops out on us, stopping us out. So, all right, that's the trade strategy there in a nutshell. Before we get into the totals that this trading system is able to accomplish, first let me say that if you are interested in dialing in your trading system or dialing in your trading in general, I highly recommend that you join our Discord server. Within our Discord server, we have a Patreon-only Discord channel. And so if you join our $9 Patreon, super cheap, you have access to the Patreon-only Discord channel within our Discord server. And in that particular channel, we have a few different members. One in particular is one of our admins, Jay. They are often posting regular, almost every day, posting trade analysis and trade ideas in that particular channel. And over the last couple of weeks, just Jay's trade ideas alone have been able to generate over 500, 700 pips in trade ideas. It's very ideal for you to be able to recognize the appropriate market conditions that will allow you to grow an account and dial in your strategy. So if you're struggling, you're trying to figure out the next step of where to go, or maybe you have a strategy that you're just trying to dial in and really figure out what the best settings or way to use it is, I highly recommend that you join that Patreon and the Patreon only channel on our Discord. It will really accelerate your learning curve. All right, so let's look at the totals now. So let's look at the numbers of what we were able to get out of this. So I only did 50 trades on this particular one, a 50 trade test, and that's because the results were really consistent. And so when they're that consistent, there really is no reason to continue testing, because it is fair to assume that it's going to remain rather consistent as it continues to go on. So what was the totals on this particular one? Well, we did a total of 50 trades. We have 22 wins and we have 28 losing trades. So obviously with a 1-to-1 risk reward, that definitely would not be a profitable trading strategy. Now, if you did allow some of these trades to run, then you could offset that risk reward and very potentially turn this into a kind of reasonable profit out of this strategy. But there are some cases where you do get some decent runs that come out of this. And so basically what this is it's a trade continuation or a trend continuation strategy. And so for example, right here, if we looked at this middle trade, so we have this one right here would have gotten us stopped out. And then you can see that we took this particular signal right here. Now, of course, this would have canceled out this signal right here. But as an example, we were looking at a stop of about 25 pips. And let's say conservatively, we would have rode it down to this big bar right here as it started to climb back up and really spike up into this area. Let's say we got out right in this area. That would have been 100 pip trade right there, a little over 100 pips. And so obviously that greatly increases your risk reward in this particular case. The downfall to this strategy is that it often gives you signals right at the end of the trend, and those add up really quick. And so, for example, if you look over here, you can see right at the end of the trend, we get a losing trade. If you look over here, we get a couple wins, a win, and then right at the end of the trade, we pick up a losing signal right there. And this kind of happens over and over. You see that it tends to give signals right as the trend is actually ending. And so if you took it upon yourself to throw this on screen and play around with it, I'm rather confident that you could turn this into a profitable trading strategy, especially if you set kind of a rule where maybe you only took the first 1 or 2 signals within the trend. Often what we find is that we will get a cycle of 3 to 4 trades that make up the entire trend. Not always, but a good chunk of the time. And so if you can latch on to one good trade and really ride that out, and then avoid when it starts to get to the end of that trade right as you're exiting, then that would be the ideal way of trading this. And again, that would increase your risk reward, and so you could very well turn this into a very good profitable system, in my opinion, or at least a reasonably profitable system. So all right, there you have it. Not too bad. If you have not already, like this video, share this video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. So that way you know what indicators we have tested and are testing. Also, there is a link down below to join our Discord server, which is a free group communication platform where we discuss all things trading related. There is also a link down below to TradingView, and if you use that link to TradingView to sign up for an account, you will save a little bit of money. And lastly, there is a link down below to sign up for Patreon. Please sign up for the Patreon and support the channel the best way you can.